Hey, my fellow multidimensionals, it's Aisha Love, founder of Multidimensional You, coming to you from Grand Teton National Park again. It's a beautiful grove of aspen in Grand Teton National Park by Two Ocean Lake. We are on a trail today, as usual. We're mixing it up and getting our favorite kind of exercise, me and Artemisia, which is hiking in the beautiful outdoor wildlands, as well as bringing through messages for the Awakening the Healer Within series. And on the drive over the pass today, I, as usual, started a whole line of conversation, which initially I always think I'm just, riffing and kind of contemplating, and pretty soon it turns into a full-blown download activation, receipt of codes to bring through today. So that is part of what we'll be doing today in today's vlog and in this part of the series, is to actually bring through a very unique kind of activation, which kind of mind-blowing, probably deserves its own series. And yeah, I'm hearing yes, you will be doing that series sometime in the future. But for now, let's kind of bring it on back to what I'm here to do, which is champion the world's healers, whatever level you happen to be at in your own remembering of what your soul plan is. And the very distinct encouragement coming through today has to do with our upgraded soul missions. So it's not as if we just had one soul plan, one soul mission, one soul purpose. Because we're living out in this beautiful organic living creation simulation, something called ascension, this beautiful organic, process of descension, coming out into an experience of the illusion of separation from source and all the ways that you can create that as a fractal of source yourself, and then coming back. Oh, there goes a dragonfly, classic. Used to be the symbol for my emergence experience for healers worldwide. Then we're bringing ourselves back up in an experience of ascension. I like to think of it in terms of evolution and multidimensional physics. It's not just some overnight beam me up type of event. It's like an ongoing process of, the original design of this corner of the multiverse. So, and the human form as well, which is going to tie in later, I'm being shown. So let me get straight to the point. We knew that under certain circumstances, our soul missions would be upgraded, so to speak. We would have to respond to a certain set of circumstances that would prefer to see, let's say, this certain corner of the multiverse not go through its evolution, not move forward on that pathway back home to an experience of source right here, right? Doesn't necessarily involve travel, certainly not the linear kind anyway. It would involve something closer to expansion, I am showing myself right now. So what does this mean in practical terms? Well, let me use myself as an example. I started out with just an awareness that my father was transitioning and received that information that he would be dying, and then helped midwife him out of his body. And then he was visiting me. And then I was told by my spirit guides I needed to, I first had to meet some spirit guides, right? And not treat them like they were a figment of my imagination. They had to pep talk me on that and explain that's very rude to do that. And then put out a shingle to be a spirit medium, and then start channeling people's spirit guides. And it just didn't stop. It kept going. It was intergalactic contacts then, and then interdimensional and meta-terrestrial and beyond the universe contacts. And all the work just kept evolving, until at one point, I very much understood I had to let go of everything, take a giant step back, retreat, and reformat. So those two words right there are being emphasized for all of us. Retreat and reformat. Be willing to let go of the identity constructs you built, even as a healer, maybe even as an emergent or nascent healer. Maybe you've plateaued. Maybe you've been in the same identity construct around way showing, healing, being of service. And it just feels stale. It feels old. It feels stagnant. It feels like a tight-fitting shoe. It's not really the full anything of who you are. And this message is for you. Feel the energy on this one. Yes, it pertains to those of you just stepping into your awakening. But I'm being shown, and I feel it so strongly. And a raven just called out and flew over. I don't know if you saw the shadow go across me. This is for those of you who've been in some type of healing profession for a bit longer. If you're just starting out, please don't tune out. There will be information activations for you in here as well, but the energy is for those of you this isn't your first rodeo, let's put it that way, okay? Yeah, they're asking me to really connect with you and to bring you forward, okay? There's a reason why certain things are not working out for you in the way that they did in the past. It's because your mission has been upgraded. And there is a lag between the upgrade and your response to it and your willingness to adapt to it. Many, many of us are being called up in new and novel ways and in different ways and different nuanced ways. Some of you for the last decade have been just kind of hanging back, and now you can feel it's like, I really have to move forward with this. Others of you, this message feels like it's geared more towards you. It feels very much like you have been on purpose and in alignment and done an amazing job of keeping up with that. Like, listen to my story, right? It's like every year or two, it's shifting, right? Great job. And yet there's more to unpack. There's more to unfold. And especially the verb is there's more to allow and surrender to. For some of you, I'm being shown in the field. I get to do that because I'm like, I don't always appreciate the messages I have to deliver around deconstruction just because I know what that's like at the human level. It can feel soul crushing at times to let go of certain circumstances, businesses, relationships. But that is absolutely the message, that maybe you have been white knuckling and holding on and clinging on for too long, and you know it on some level, your soul right now, and oversoul and beyond, whatever, maybe monadic or multidimensional self you put yourself together in. It's not just the soul level that we're dealing with here, right? Yeah, and that right there, I just felt a whole bunch of you feel very seen for the first time. And what I'm being shown now is that lack of feeling validated and seen at just the kind of multidimensional being you are plays directly into this message today. And that we need you now up and out in that identity. So whatever, maybe you have a website and a brand and a way you talk about your work, it is not the most authentic reflection of who you really are. And it wasn't time. I get it. You had to hang back a little bit, but there's a gap that the field now, I feel all of our greater self is like, close the gap, please. It's time to close the gap. Don't hold anything back. I had to work up to openly talking about the fact that I work with multidimensional templates and holographic timelines and records and all the multidimensional physics. And this beautiful blue dragonfly just keeps flying around in front of me. Of course you're here today. So those of you who are more emergent or nascent in your awakening and stepping into your healing alignment, take note. Those healers who've been at it a while are getting their kind of like upgrade missions and inner directives to like, let's move this along. So don't for any sort of second think that you will get to some place and then you can be like, you will have arrived. In my direct experience, there is no arrival. There is the ongoing walk and unfolding. And it's beautiful because this time in ascension, what we are calling fail-safe ascension, meaning unfuckable with ascension, essentially, the immune system of living creation has initiated. And this is where incredible new leaps and evolutions, let alone innovations, are possible. So to that end, I'm being segued to the code drop for today. On the drive over the pass today, I was contemplating how it doesn't matter how enlightened we are, how much samadhi, oneness with all we've been in, what kind of source self reclamation we've been through. The soul and beyond, multidimensional self, still has to work through the human form, this beautiful human form that in spiritual circles can tend to be seen as a throwaway, less than the meat suit. This summer, the Higher Love family got a huge pep talk on this. This is an incredible being with its own consciousness and its own incredible divine design. And then I went on to experience something profound. We have been trained in all of our metaphysical circles to override using our mindset, the body. So we think nervous system, dysregulation, panic attacks, all of it. I've been through all of it, so I have so much empathy. And we think enough meditation, enough mindfulness, EMDR. I mean, we can go through all EFT, emotional freedom tapping, I think, technique. All of those are wonderful. Are you ready for this? So what was brought to me is that the body itself is a divine design and template, and it has the ability to reset itself into perfect stasis. We know this because we know the body has self-healing, and that if you support it in just the right way and remove a lot of the toxins and stressors, the body has incredible self-healing capabilities built in. But what has been missing from our understanding so far, I'm sure I'm not the only one being given this information, it's probably dropping in all over the planet right now, is that rather than needing to modify or put inputs into the body, we're going to do it now. We're going to activate the body's design, here it begins, to reset its own nervous system. It came with that built into the design. Here we go. And it's kind of coming up from here. And now I feel the whole body becoming super calm and super empowered, actually. And the mind is like, wow, it could do that. And the body's wisdom says, of course I can. I'm that amazing. You just forgot. There, feel the difference? Just another one of those amazing inverted paradigms. Did it take any time at all? No. My heart rate just slowed down, my breathing and respiration is more regulated. I'm starting to feel high in a good way, meaning peaceful and calm. I hope you enjoy this. We'll call it a code drop, an activation, this divine remembering. These are the mission upgrades that are dropping in now. And they're critical because we need them. We already need them due to fear-mongering and polarity dramas on the planet and our own personal test of initiation. Anyone else living those? Your upgrades involve deconstruction, and deconstruction triggers fear in the mind, which triggers the nervous system, fight or flight or freeze. So this is a really powerful and timely inverted code drop. And this is a real-time demonstration of those of us with mission upgrades making good on those upgrades. So I recognize that staying in alignment with your upgraded soul mission can be kind of a dance. I don't know. I feel like I should have tap shoes on, right? But you so have this. We have this. Okay, so to recap, for those of you just starting out and kind of starting to come out of the spiritual closet and being like, I'm a healer. How do I do this? No, this is going to be the deal. You will go through different upgrades. Just get used to that. The search for psychic safety is what has us clamoring to lock down the next identity construct and a label and a new box. If you can just stay fluid, right, and flexible in your identity construct, you are going to fare very well. And I will go back to a former video in this series. Just be in the heart of service and allow what wants to come through. And then you get to be kind of the vessel, the servant, the kid on the playground. Like, what are we going to do next? It gets exciting, and you're not in competition, you're in complementarity. You know, you're putting some collaborations together, and there are 4 of you now working together. We'll talk about this in an upcoming video in depth, but there's just so much that is being asked of those of us with these soul missions now, including these upgrades, that this really felt timely. And you will face your own test of initiation that your soul beyond set up for good reason. It's to build resilience, unrockability, right? Temperance and perseverance. All of that is required of the planet's way showers at this time. So don't be surprised if your world gets a little bit rocking and rolling, and this code drop is really timely for you to let the body's own built-in ability to reset its nervous system to serve you in a way that you don't have to reach for and you don't have to do any inputs on. And I am super grateful and feel very honored that I get to bring this through to the human collective and to especially the healers of the world at this time. Please share this far and wide. I personally know many healers who have been very rocked lately by life circumstances. And in addition to this beautiful activation, I just want to do the encouragement that please remember that that's part of your walk. And we are still operating under some social conditioning that says, but we should be able to, be a successful in the ways that we attained. Why is this no longer working? And remember that we're still not loving that part of ourselves. And that's still our social programming. So we're all rebalancing out of, martyr, lone wolf, rescuing others, and more into receiving and balancing all of that out. So Just keep in mind that will be a constant work in process, and it can catch you off guard when it comes for you, a deconstruction event or a trigger event. But it's all designed to see, it's like, this is a test of your self-love system, of your unconditional loving system. How are we meeting the moment with love or fear? And, I was having a conversation with a peer about this. I'm like, I think we keep unlocking the next level. This idea that we're just going to attain absolute comfort, maybe not. We just get more comfortable with discomfort, if that's helpful. Okay, and because so many of us are living through these upgraded soul missions, I've decided to offer a free event designed to support everyone going through this process. It'll be on Sunday, October 20th, and all the information is below. The idea is, come on the event. We'll go through a whole process of encouragement and activations and whatever else wants to come through. I never know until I just show up, and then it all unfolds, and I'm usually mind and heart blown as a result. And I will be opening up the Higher Love family during that window of time in later October through early November. This is a place for the world's healers and way showers to come and receive, their next alignment and their support. You all are so committed and so busy, frankly, in the trenches, delivering all of this service and way showing to the planet, that this is your chance to come and receive the support you need. And so this, $33 a month membership program, so that people, currencies worldwide, all of you in South Africa, I see you, okay? Brazil, I see you. New Zealand, Australia, I see you. Thank you for everything that you do and you bring to the planet. So this is an amazing place every month to receive an activation, an integration, and then to put it all into service in a global meditation. And these are multidimensional templates, activations. It's pretty esoteric. It's not for, the average person who's not in a service role of this kind, doesn't have a healer soul plan. It's really designed to help all of you who are on the front lines be able to continue to meet the demands of your upgrading soul mission. No small feat when you're also, tasked with like buying the groceries and paying the mortgage and rent and maybe raising some kids, right? But I'm being shown that, and you'll see as the series goes on, like all these messages weave together. The other thing that's just being emphasized here at the end, and I see why, is the collaboration and coming together in community and being able to interface with one another and share resources, even setting up healing centers that share resources. So it's not you lone wolfing, the cost of everything and only having your network. It's setting up a complementary suite of services, and that will be a much more in-depth message going forward. I know it, I can feel it coming, but this was really precious, really important, timely, to make sure everyone understands why things aren't working like they used to, even though you stepped into alignment with your soul purpose and mission a long time ago. It's because it's been upgraded, and it continues to upgrade to meet the demands of fail-safe ascension. And all the incredible ways we can be of service during this time and bring forward our full multidimensionality in ways that 10 years ago, I'm like, yeah, good luck with that. Like, people can't even handle spirit guides, let alone, the advanced science of multidimensional physics, like, and yet here we are. And for those of you who would like in-depth, intensive weekly support, individual support from me, I still do have a spot or two open in my Higher Love Alchemy private program, and that link is below as well. Just fill out a form if it's a good fit. We'll jump on a call and let's see, what your greater self has in mind for me being able to support you in your stepping up into greater alignment with what you came here to do in support of human evolution and beyond.